In this video, we're gonna go through the 5 methods that you can implement today as a beginner videographer to get your first paid client. Hey guys, my name's Jono. I'm an ex-lawyer turned full-time filmmaker, and at the end of 2021, I quit a high-paying 9-to-5 corporate job to start a videography business with my best friend Jason. Like many of you who are trying to turn your creative passion into a fully fledged career, we were stumped with the old age question: how the hell do we actually find clients so we get paid for our work? And recently I watched Alex Hormozi's launch event for his new book, $100 Million Leads, where he lays out a really simple and easy to understand framework on how we can actually advertise the things that we sell so that we can get clients and get paid for our work. Alex essentially says there are only 4 ways you yourself can tell other people about the stuff that you sell. So number 1 is warm outreach, number 2 is cold outreach, number 3 is posting free content, and number 4 is running paid ads. So in this video, we're gonna cover each of the 4 methods and how we personally implemented each of these 4 methods into our own journey when we first started as beginner videographers. I'm also gonna add a 5th surprise method at the very end. This last method alone allowed us to add an additional $20,000 of revenue in 1 month. So stick around to the very end to learn about this last method. So the first method is what Alex refers to as warm outreach. This is where you reach out to people that you know one-on-one. So that could be your friends, family members, colleagues, acquaintances, and you ask them whether they know anyone who would need your products or services. And so when we were starting out as complete beginners with 0 experience and no clients, this is how we learned about this method of advertising essentially. In June 2019, I was a 24-year-old lawyer who was working in corporate. It was my first ever full-time job. And at the time, I wanted to start a side hustle that I could work on after work and on the weekends. And so I tried a bunch of things, from resume writing to trying to start up an online cooking class to finally landing on creating a YouTube channel where we produced recipe videos. Around the same time, I was having lunch with an old friend from primary school who was about to get married, and he told me that they didn't have enough money to hire a wedding videographer. And because Jason and I were creating these fun cooking videos for YouTube on the weekends, I went out on a limb and offered to film his wedding for free. He said yes. I borrowed Jason's camera the week before, learnt my camera settings, rocked up to the wedding with the camera, and edited the video over the coming weeks after work. And that's essentially how I got my first free unpaid client using warm outreach, or AKA as Alex refers to, reaching out to people that you know one-on-one. Although I had no idea this was called warm outreach at the time, stumbling across this method got me started on my videography journey. It gave me the confidence to realize that, hey, I actually really enjoy this, it brings value to people, and it's actually something that I could potentially get paid for down the track. In mid-2020, Jason and I wanted to start filming weddings professionally. And so again, we reached out to everyone that we knew, from family, friends, and colleagues, and asked them whether they knew anyone who was getting married soon and was looking for a wedding videographer. I even asked my grandma whether she had any friends from church who had grandkids who were gonna get married soon. And lo and behold, that's actually how we secured our next 2 wedding gigs, which were actually paid. The first one was my mum's best friend's daughter, who was getting married at the time and couldn't afford a wedding videographer, and so they actually paid us $500 to film their wedding. The second was a really distant connection. Get this, this was Jason's high school friend's sister's mutual friend. So that just really shows that if you're willing to put yourself out there and express what you're looking for, then you just never know where the opportunities will arise. And so as a beginner videographer starting from scratch, here is how you can use warm outreach to get your first client. And so what you can do is just start off small. Get a piece of paper and write down 10 people that you know who you can reach out to after this video. This could be calling, texting, or emailing a family, friend, or colleague and asking them whether they know anyone who might be a business owner who is looking for a video. And so moving on to the second method of Alex Hormozi's framework, which is cold outreach. This is where you reach out to strangers one-on-one and tell them about what you have to sell. And so here's actually how we unknowingly used cold outreach to get our first clients as beginner videographers. In July 2019, I finished up editing that video for my friend's wedding that I spoke about earlier. I absolutely love the process, and so I decided to buy my first camera, which was a Canon SL2. It came with a kit lens, and I also bought a little $60 aperture light as well. I bought the camera because I wanted to get out there, do more shoots, and keep developing my craft, but I had no idea where to even start. So what I did was I uploaded a few of the home cooking videos that we had done for YouTube onto an Instagram page, and then just started DMing local businesses in our area, offering to do free shoots for them. This was the actual message I sent to a business that actually allowed us to come onto their premise to do a free portfolio shoot for them. After sending about 20 DMs with no reply, one business finally got back to me. It was a Japanese restaurant in our local area who had just recently opened and was starting up a social media account. And so once the shoot was confirmed, we rocked up on the Saturday with a $500 beginner camera, kit lens, and a $60 aperture light, and we created a library of videos and photos that they could use for their social media and that we could use for our own portfolio. Or as Alex Hormozi puts it, reaching out to strangers one-on-one. Stumbling across cold outreach allowed us to develop our craft, build our portfolio, and gave us the confidence to put ourselves out there and realize that we actually had real value that we could deliver to the marketplace. We continued using this cold outreach method, and in February 2020, we got our first paid client through cold outreach. It was a real estate agent who sold luxury apartments near Sydney Harbour, and he paid us $350 for a 1-minute real estate walkthrough video. We reached out via text message, and that was how we got our first paid client through cold outreach. We actually ended up working with this client for the next 2 years, filming all their real estate listings until we actually made the decision to stop doing real estate videos at the end of 2021. If you're starting from scratch with zero experience and no portfolio, aside from a few home videos like our cooking videos back in the day, I would send a message similar to the one that we sent. If you've already got a strong portfolio and you want to reach out and offer to help people, then you can send something along the lines of this. So in the early days when we were starting out, I would sit on a bench during my lunch break or on the bus on the way home from work, and I would just be DMing businesses and brands in my local area. And that's what you can start doing as well. Just set aside a 30-minute block each day. Dedicate that time just to sit down in a quiet area and just start connecting with brands and businesses and just offering your help. So the third method in Alex Hormozi's framework is posting free content. This can be posting content on things like your social media pages, so TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and also on a website. And so let me share with you the story of actually how we got our first ever paid client through posting free content. From July 2019 to about November 2019, Jason and I were going out every weekend and doing free shoots for local businesses in our area. We would organize the shoots on Saturday, edit the content on Sunday, and then post 3 times throughout the week. So we'd do 2 video posts and 1 photo post. And on 21 October 2019, so about 3 months after we had started doing this process, we got our first inquiry through our Instagram page asking for a quote to film a 3-day event. We quoted $1,000 to produce an event recap video and a library of social media clips, which at the time I was super nervous about because this is the first time I had sent out a quote for any of our services. And to our surprise, the client accepted our quote. And so we just spent the long weekends filming these crazy Caribbean parties, from a white party where everyone was just twerking, and then a paint party, and then a cruise party where everyone was dressed up in Caribbean outfits. And so that's the story of how I essentially went from a complete beginner who didn't even know how to use my camera settings in June 2019, right before I filmed for my friend's wedding, to 6 months later, being able to charge $1,000 to film an event for someone, using the method of posting free content. And so as a beginner, here's how you can implement it to get your first few clients. Just focus on one platform and start posting content about the stuff that you sell. I personally really like Instagram because it's such a visual platform, so you can upload your work and clients can very quickly get an idea of the stuff that you do. But what if you have no content to post? Then what you can do is go out, do free shoots so that you can produce the content to post. Over time, as you post more content and the quality of your work starts to improve, you're going to naturally attract more and more attention. Method number 4 is running paid ads, or as Alex refers to, letting strangers know about your stuff one-to-many. However, from our personal experience as beginner videographers, I'd actually recommend just focusing on the first 3 methods that we talked about before first, because those first 3 methods are free. 3 years into our journey and we are only just starting to learn how to run paid ads, but that's because we have learned how to use the first 3 methods to start generating revenue for our business, which we can then use to reinvest into learning how to run paid ads. So with that little disclaimer aside, here is a little story of how we actually use paid ads to get our first client. This time last year in about August 2020, our wedding photography and videography business was in a bit of a rut. We were shooting some weddings here and there, but it was literally crickets and no one was inquiring about our services. So in April 2023 this year, we actually started running a paid ads campaign for our wedding photography and videography business. And after about a month of running ads, we managed to close our first client, which was a wedding videography only package for about $3,000. But as I mentioned previously, if I was a beginner starting from zero, what I would do is just focus on the first 3 methods that we spoke about first, keep doing your warm outreach, your cold outreach, and posting your free content. Learn how to start generating some money using those first 3 methods first before you even start to consider using paid ads. And finally, the bonus method, number 5, which isn't in Alex's core 4, but he still talks about it in his book, and that is word of mouth referrals. This is not in Alex's core 4 because you yourself are not telling other people about your services, but it's where other people, such as your past or current clients, tell other people about your services. In late 2019, we helped one of our good friends, Armin, with a personal photo shoot. He loved the photos and we told him that we were looking to do videography professionally and to recommend us if he knew of anyone, aka warm outreach, which is the first method that we talked about. He then introduced us to his barber at the time, who was looking to produce a series of social media videos and photos for their Instagram and website. And so they actually paid us $200 to come in and do some filming for their hair salon. He loved the content, and so he then referred us to his friend who owned 2 businesses, a retail fit-out business and also a shisha bar. We did a client testimonial for the retail fit-out business for $300 and a promo video for the shisha bar for $300. And that was our first ever experience with referrals, where other people, aka our existing client, told someone else about our services. Fast forward 2 years, and in late 2022, we actually learned about the concept of a referral program from our business mentor. And so we implemented a referral program into our wedding photography and videography business, where couples who had already booked us could get a discount on their wedding package if they referred a family or friend. A month after implementing this program, we were able to book in 4 extra couples who had been referred, which amounted to an additional revenue of about $20,000 for that month. And so as a beginner videographer, here's how you can start generating referrals today to get more clients. First of all, get the basics right. Be easy to work with and just put in 110% effort into everything that you do. Even if the quality of your work is not right up there at the moment, you'll find that people will still refer you if you're easy to work with and they can see that you're hungry to learn and grow. Second is to actually ask for a referral. Ask your clients, even the ones that you've done free work for, what their experience was working with you and what are some different things that you can improve on going forward. And that's the perfect time to ask, if you're happy with our service so far, is there one person in your network who you can introduce us to who would benefit from our service? Like what I mentioned earlier, we don't get if we don't ask. And so just by planting the seed in your client's mind, you'll never know where a referral might come from. And the third thing to think about is potentially implementing some sort of referral program, something to actually incentivize your clients to refer you to other people. This could be something along the lines of, we'll give you a 50% discount, or we'll even shoot your next project for free if you refer us one person. You'll find people are much more motivated to go out and look for opportunities for you when they actually have a concrete incentive to do so. And so those are the 5 methods that you can use to get clients as a beginner videographer. And so hopefully you find this framework valuable, and more importantly, I hope that you found the personal stories that we shared relating to each of the 5 methods really useful for you, and hopefully it can inspire you to kind of take a similar path in your journey. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, give this video a like, hit that subscribe button if you found this video useful, and hit that notification bell button to get notified every time we post a new video. On the channel, we post content about filmmaking, self-help, and business, and we'd love to have you in the community. We also have an email newsletter, link in the description box down below if you're interested to sign up. And with that guys, we will see you in the next video.